Hey everybody, it's a Friday, 2nd of February. This is going to be kind of a more casual video because I don't have a lot to say today. I am working on something that I think is going to be a pretty good video. Maybe get it out on Saturday or Sunday, but at the moment it's going to take a little longer than most of the ones I've been making. And it's not quite on the health topic, but I think people might like it. So today I'm just kind of keeping it casual. First we'll go through my numbers just so get that out of the way. I weighed in at 308 today, so that's just a fraction above yesterday. I'm at one of those plateaus at the moment, and it's going to stay that way probably for a couple more days, but we'll see. As I found it, usually it plateaus for about 5 days in a row, and then another drop comes. 308 is fine. I'm very happy to be that far along the journey already. I'd love it to be more, but that's just the way things go. I've got a whole month to drop about 5 pounds to make what I consider to keep me on track. So I'm not worried at all about that. I'm still walking pretty constantly. Not today though, because, well, I'll be walking today, but I'm not going to be walking outside because it is raining. The atmospheric river that hit California has finally made its way to Tucson, and it's just going to be wet and rainy off and on all day. I managed to get a few minutes of outside walking about an hour ago while it was just sprinkling, but now it's steady rain again, and I'm just going to stay inside until that lets up. But I'm sure I'll get my 10,000 one way or another. My active calories yesterday was 1,046, right there in that range. I want to stay above 1,000, so I'm very happy with that. The steps was 11,628. I'd like those to be a little higher. I really do like it when I hit about 13,000 steps, but even yesterday the weather was starting to turn, so I didn't get as many steps in the evening as I really wanted to. I'm still very happy. My goal is to stay above 10,000, and I'm above 10,000. I just have a little stretch goal of about 13,000 that I like to hit. My blood sugar this morning came in a little bit high at 131. I don't know quite what I did wrong yesterday, or maybe I didn't do anything wrong, but it's been higher the past 3 days than that nice little streak of lows that I had. That's fine. My goal is to get it to trend downward. It doesn't have to be down every day at this point. And I'm still not seeing numbers like 200, which was my real worry when I began this. Resting heart rate is staying about the same. It's actually up a notch at 65. And my walking heart rate is at 115, which is, I think, yeah, that's a high. That's about it for the health journey talk. I've got a few random things that I have on my mind, so I might as well see whether I say anything interesting. I'll be working on my taxes today. As a lot of people know, I work for Quicken, which is financial software and used to be part of Intuit, which does all that tax software. We're not a part of that anymore, so the tax software is a separate beast. Luckily, I have a friend at Intuit, so I managed to get a decent discount on what I buy. Trying to get the student loan thing the way it's supposed to be. The company we're working with is refusing the last proof we gave of our income. So I just want to go ahead and get the income taxes out there for this year so that we can prove our income. Because with those repayment plans that they highly suggest you do these days with the income-based repayment, it makes a big difference as to how much you're paying in. And so I got charged a lot last month because they decided they didn't like the information I'd submitted, and that was not pleasant. So I need to get that paperwork in, so I'm going to be working on that today. It'll be one of the earliest times I've ever done taxes. I've also started to consider doing some videos about using Quicken. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it on this channel because this topic isn't really the same, or if I'm going to start it on a second channel. If anybody has any thoughts, let me know. I think this channel can support more than one topic, and it's not like my health topic brings in a lot of people. It's a trickle, not a river. So I think maybe I'll keep them on this channel. But I do have another channel that I post to. Mostly I've been posting shorts to that one that have nothing to do with anything I talk about here. And it doesn't have a lot of followers either, so I could start it there. As I discussed a couple days ago, I've been using QuickTime to shoot my videos, and frankly, I'm not happy with it. It does a great job of actually shooting the videos. The quality is just fine. But it's a very rudimentary program that doesn't give me a lot of options. For example, I have trouble pausing. There's no real pause feature that I can find, so I just end up having to stop the video and start a second video. I'd rather not do that. It's fine that I can, but it would be nice just to be able to hit the space bar, pause it for a minute while I look something up, and then start again. So If anybody has any suggestions about something better for the Mac that isn't super expensive, let me know, because I would love to have a little bit more control over the video creation part. I have Final Cut Pro, so I have a lot of control over the editing part, but not the creation. It's just a bit of a pain. I was doing it in Zoom before, which at least let me pause, but the quality just wasn't there. Back on the health front, I do have an upcoming appointment in 2 weeks, right there around Valentine's Day, to get a pulmonary test. And what that is they're going to take a look at my lungs, put me under a little bit of stress, probably running on a treadmill or something, and see how the lung function is, because I still have a partially collapsed right lung. It's about a third of that lung. It doesn't seem to be hampering me a lot, but it sure would be nice to figure out what that problem is and if it can be fixed. I've never gotten really good information about that. It's really what I started going to the doctor for before they found my cancer. And so that got delayed, and it's been a year and a half, and I would really like to deal with the lung issue. Because if I can breathe better, I can walk better. Maybe just walking will fix it. We'll see. I feel better already than I felt before, but I still don't think my breath is anywhere near where it should be. So I would really like to get some fix there. I have begun doing a new walking playlist. My first one was more contemporary alternative to Americana/folk. This time I went back and I made myself a 1980s playlist. It's not quite done yet. I've got just about an hour, but I like to have about an hour and a half of material just in case I catch a groove. And I do mine on YouTube so I can share them pretty easily. My preference is still for the more alternative groups rather than the standard 80s arena rock. I liked arena rock in the 80s, but looking back, I prefer to get something a little bit different. At some point, I'll probably make a 70s playlist and a 90s playlist, just so I can cover the eras I'm most interested in. I'm also considering making something like a classical playlist just to mix things up a bit. I found after about 2 weeks I'm just getting tired of the original playlist. It's still good. I really like the songs, but I can tell I'm going to need more variety if I'm just going to keep going. Right now, my wife and I are introducing my kids to Stranger Things. 11 and a half now, and finally kind of reached the age where they can handle the material, especially since they're about the same age as the kids were in the first season, so they can kind of identify with what's going on. We're up to the third season now, so they're a little bit older, but still I can tell that my kids are engaged with the life of these kids. And of course, all the fun supernatural shenanigans that go on. Rewatching it, I can still see it's a pretty good show. I've got a couple quibbles with the way they portray a couple of the characters, not the main characters so much as some of the side characters just don't feel like they're fleshed out well enough and seem like they're just doing things for the convenience of plot's sake. But all the main characters are very likable, and the actors are all very enjoyable to watch. And I have a lot more, so I'm just going to leave you with my Terry Pratchett quote of the day. This one is from Jingo. Give a man a fire and he's warm for a day, but set him on fire and he's warm for the rest of his life. That's it for today. Please like, please subscribe, please comment, and I'll see you all tomorrow.